So today we're going to look at how to create an ER diagram. I'm going to use a tool called Draw.io. Okay, so I got myself already set up, and I can create a new diagram, and I can put this in my Google Drive if I'd like. And I'm going to just call this customer order. And this will save for XML. You can export it to a JPEG or anything else you would like to as well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click on the entity relationship diagram we're going to create, and I can pick a folder. I'll just throw it in something in Google Drive. And I'll say new folder 2. And now what this is going to give us is by default an ER diagram, which you could use and play with and change things. I'm going to just take this and go over it and select everything, delete, just to clear the plate. Now over on the left hand side here, you're going to see different things like the general things that you have. You're also going to see entity relation. So you could use some of these if you wanted to. Things like this type of table or a list if you'd like to, or entity like so. I personally like to use an entity like this, so I'm going to drag this over. Now let's just say we have a customer. So we have a customer. And first attribute, we'll underline, oops. And we're gonna, okay, let's try it again. Okay, we're gonna put in the customer ID, the name, and the zip code. So that's good enough. And customer ID is the primary key, so in this particular setup, I can underline this. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take and copy this over here. I just do a select it and do Control-C, Control-V. Not that happy with the copy, so I'm going to grab it again. Control-C, Control-V. Just grab that, move that over here. I'm going to call it product. So product. And in this case, I give it a product ID. Description. And price. Let's see that. Now notice that each of these are underlined, so I can highlight those guys, just those two. And then over to my right, I have a little palette here. I can click off the underline, take care of that. Not sure product ID, that didn't stay underlined, but it's okay. And then I want to connect these guys. So what I can do is up here, I have a line, so I want just a straight line. I'm going to go across, this little green ball. You want to try not to do that. So again, click the line, get a little green ball, and click off of this. And just go straight across. Like so. And then over on the right hand side we have a little palette here. This is where we're going to have things like what we want to have. So right now, notice the arrow. So I want this to be a many to many. So I'm going to go down and grab my many. And on the other side of this, I want this to be the same thing. I want it to be many. So a mandatory many. And I can probably push this guy up a little bit. Let's see if I can make it a little nicer. Here, okay, there we go. So now we have a many to many. And maybe we want to give it a name. So we can throw text in here. And you can do that a few ways. You could just take your miscellaneous, and then you should be able to find title. I just did title and put that up there. Move that right here. And again, I want to make it a little bit smaller, so maybe click on 11 point. Okay, I'll call this orders. And then finally, I want to have some attributes on this as well. So what I would do is maybe take another small square here, and maybe I want the quantity ordered. Okay. Now I need to put a line here, so I just click on my line again, wait for the little ball to show up, and put that across. Didn't like me that time. There we go. Okay. And this time I'm going to say none for these guys. So style none on each side of that, and I want it to be a dotted line. So right up here, I'll click on dotted, and that's it. Now that's going to be saved automatically for you to your Google Drive. So now what you can do from here is you could take this and export it. So for example, if I go over to File, export it as a JPEG, a PDF, whatever you like to do, so if you want to hand this into your instructor, or as a URL. But those will be saved for you with the name and .dir as XML. So that's about it as far as editing. There's a few more things to this, but any of these headers can be changed to ones or manys and so on. Okay, so that's about it for today.